What is going on, everybody? Welcome to not Monday night. No, this is Tuesday night, where we will be finishing the stream from last night. Due to some very unforeseen circumstances, a car decided to get drunk and plow into a power line, and it took my whole entire block down. It was about 3,000 people who didn't have power, and I was one of the first ones to get it back after an hour and a half, and then they said that there were other people who would be out until 4 a.m. So, it was just going to be me, but Shadow decided to join. Thank you to him. So we're gonna take 30 minutes, and we are going to finish the stream. So everybody's description is in. Everybody's information is in the description. Everybody's information is in the chat. Go ahead and check them out. They didn't get a chance to do their outros last night because I literally I couldn't even hop back on. Which was funny. I tried 5 times, and every time I hopped on, it was like, and I'm just like, what the fuck are they talking about? But yeah, that was that's about the gist of that. So, thank you to all of them for continuing to move forward, because I literally was dealing with the most nonsensical crap.
Yeah.
And before I could even actually go back and try to review it, HBO claimed me on the intro, but not the episode. So everything we did to protect ourselves from getting clipped was good, but it was the intro. This is what they're like, well, hold on, guys. So they blocked it, so I couldn't even figure out where they ended, or how they ended it. So yeah, so I know that JV summed this up, so we're going to sum it up
Summed up both scenes.
Yeah.
You're great. Sit. I do apologize, my lady. Small
so we're going to watch it at 1.5.
Become treason to waste the king's time.
He's such an asshole, just for the record.
Yes.
To waste the king's time.
I mean, this scene at the very least confirms he's straight.
Yeah, I guess that's a good point.
Seemingly, Joffrey's got more proof of being straight than me.
Yeah. No, well, actually, hold on. Yeah, so Larry was first. Then, of course, we got Logical Spock. He says, hey, peeps, I'm here. Then Larry said, yeah, Logical Spock, you ain't first. And then, of course, Mr. Grant Gregory says, laugh out loud. Yeah, it was a clown show, dude. Sorry about that. Gay? Yeah, super gay. And I live in the suburbs where cell phone service is shoddy at best. I mean, I guess I chose that, but I couldn't even hear you guys. It was so bad. But yes.
That's a lovely gown, my lady.
Yes, it suits you perfectly. I imagine you might be rather cold.
The climate is a bit more forgiving.
Shall I have them bring you a shawl, my lady?
Wow.
I'm touched by your concern, Your Grace. Luckily for us Tyrells, our blood runs quite warm, doesn't it, Loris?
Yes.
Loris, isn't the Queen's gown magnificent? The fabric, the embroidery, the metalwork, I've never seen anything like it.
You might find a bit of armor quite useful once you become queen, perhaps before. Joffrey tells me you stopped your carriage at Fleabottom on your way back from the Sept this morning.
Yes. I paid a visit to an orphanage the High Septon told me about.
Margie does a great deal of work with the poor back in Highgarden.
You can tell that she is pissed about that. Yes, she is pissed. Yeah. Like, she's like, this little bint is showing me up. And she is pissed.
Yeah, Cersei has literally one job. Keep Joffrey from pissing off the poor people. What's Cersei's failing? Keeping Joffrey from pissing off the poor people.
Yeah.
My mother's always had a penchant for drama. Facts become less and less important to her as she grows older. Our lives were never truly in danger.
You're right, of course.
That shot across the bow is beautiful, by the way. I wish we would have had a chance to, because JV would have been like all about that, been like going, oh, bitch.
You're your father's son.
Yeah.
You can't all have a king's bravery.
Nothing but dialogue, so will it play out?
Yeah. Good dialogue.
Turns men into beasts.
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad House Tyrell has been able to help in this regard. They tell me 100 wagons arrive daily now from the Reach. Wheat, barley, apples. We've had a blessed harvest. And of course, it's our duty to assist the capital in time of need.
Well, as Dolores said, Lady Marjorie has done this sort of charitable work before. I'm sure she knows what she's doing.
Sure she does.
All right, so Shadow, do you want to take over narration for this part?
Sure. So we have Dany arriving in Astapor. I believe one of the very last things we did. No, that was on her way to Astapor earlier in the stream. We showed a map where Astapor is in relation to Karth, as well as mentioning it is on the map predominantly for its training of the Unsullied. which I have a few opinions about.
Yes.
That have become less harsh over the years, actually.
All right.
Surprising. Yeah.
Hey.
The Unsullied have stood here for a day and a night with no food or water.
Masande.
Yeah.
They will stand until they drop. Such is their obedience.
They may suit my needs. Tell me of their training.
So obviously, that would be a bug on the wall. All right, whatever. I don't care. It can't fly. I just look over and it's like, I have 2 cats in this house and you couldn't kill a damn bug.
Evidently not.
Idiots.
Yeah.
They begin their training at 5. Every day they drill.
I'm just gonna kill it.
Yeah. This is a good showcasing of some of the arrogance you would find in SOC culture. I don't know their farming structure. I imagine it might be somewhat irrigation based, or there's very little good land and it's owned by. Well, like you have this sort of. I would easily imagine, unlike Westeros, where everything can be grown anywhere and power comes from the barrel of a gun, basically. In Essos, only a few people control enough arable land, which would create this way more pomp and not authoritarian is the bad word, but like you can kind of get the masters are more more pompous, more self-centered than Westerosi lords, which is kind of hard to believe. I would imagine it's partly related to how they grow their food, because that's shapes most societies. But one other thing, if we like as we get closer to Missandei, notice her dress, particularly how it's held up. Collar.
Really?
If she look at it, if she wanted to remove her collar, her sign of slavery, she would need to undress herself and humiliate herself with nudity.
Yeah, I do see that actually now. Yeah. I thought that was just like a fashion sense, but no. I never caught that originally.
It's kind of fashion. It forces the slave to keep the collar on for fear of debasing oneself.
Interesting.
Only 1 boy in 4 survives this rigorous
training. I'm assuming,
training.
at least. I don't know if there's a context for that.
Loyalty.
No, I think that's probably a pretty decent assumption, because I mean, the whole entire outfit looks to be held up that direction.
Yeah, absolute.
Yeah.
They fear nothing.
Even the bravest men fear death.
Yeah, it's not necessarily a fashion statement to have it, your outfit chained or basically embedded to, an iron lock.
Yeah.
My master says the Unsullied are not men. Death means nothing to them.
And of course, he decides.
Right here is a good example of one of the things I have an issue with the Unsullied. I get he's got that big shield, and you can like the Greeks made armor out of linen. So like my big issue though is there's that nice large gap in front of the lung.
Mm-hmm.
Like I get that he won't care that he's stabbed in the lung. Like Ajax, getting stabbed in the lung will kill you. So why not protect the lung?
I probably because they're meant to be nothing but cannon fodder.
Right, but if they're just meant to be cannon fodder, then why go through like the whole elite training? Because aside, like, and honestly, my issues for the Unsullied really come down to their equipment, which their new master can replace. Like, if they want to go with the light armor, why not have a bigger shield, like something the size of a hoplon that the Greeks would use?
Yeah,
because the style of equipment they seem to have is based off Greek warfare. Long spear, reserve sword, big shield. The Greeks, if you weren't rich enough to afford heavy armor, would make use with linen armor, which is probably worse than, say, gambeson or leather. So these guys using leather, already a step up. Just cover the entire torso, guys, please.
Yeah, I mean, it would probably be better, to take it up higher, as you can see. Because, like right here is going to be a huge issue.
Yeah, exactly.
There is no need.
But again, it could just be stylistic showcase while they're on march. You could obviously purchase your own equipment for your own Unsullied if you wanted to. And actually, going into like the Unsullied themselves, a few years ago, if you were to tell me, I would say the Unsullied should be a horrible military force, because if they're castrated as boys, they're not going to get physically strong as a person who grows to adulthood. However, I wasn't considering how important morale is in an overall battlefield. If the Unsullied will not rout, they will not break. And if they're in formation fighting, it doesn't matter if an individual Unsullied is physically weaker because they've got their brothers next to them. You pit an Unsullied against like a Men-at-Arms or a Dothraki, which I hate the Dothraki military structure for so many reasons. I would bet on the Westerosi or the Dothraki any day. You get a formation of like 20 on 20, I give it to the Unsullied because they won't fucking run.
It's good. Yeah, I think that's probably a pretty good observation. Also, at the same time, I'm thinking they probably outfitted them with probably the most basic protection to sell them, and then of course, if anybody who has the means to do so, they might upgrade them. So, and then of course, I think it was probably a costume effect. Instead of upgrading their costumes, they just left them.
Right, that's what I'm thinking. Is like, if this is just them, if this is just like their show uniform, okay. But then if it's like a dress uniform, but then Dany never upgrades them. She never takes the time to upgrade any of her units. It's weird.
It is. It's a little weird. It's probably an attention to detail lack too that comes from later on where they were kind of dropping the ball.
Yeah. Or it could be a sign that she doesn't have the money to properly outfit them.
To win his shield, an Unsullied must go to the slave marts with a silver mark, find a newborn, and kill it before its mother's eyes. This way, my master says, we make certain there is no weakness left in them.
You take a babe from its mother's arms, kill it as she watches, and pay for her pain with a silver coin.
Las Angoda. Pindas Luhozila Megalebo Vajib Nisa Zia Ruho Morhisi.
You know what's funny is that he's insulted her multiple times, and I guarantee that Daenerys knows that he's insulted.
Oh yeah, she does.
Which is super funny, and also results in a little bit of what later on. But we're not there. I believe that happens next week.
This is like if a Spaniard goes to Mexico and you insult him in his face in Spanish. Like, that's basically what's going on here.
Yeah. It's
down to the fact Valyrian is apparently just Spanish.
Mm-hmm.
I'd like you to know that the silver is paid to the baby's owner, not the mother.
How many do you have to sell?
8,000. Master Krasnus asks that you please hurry. Many other buyers are interested.
He has 8,000 to sell, but doesn't he have like a total of like 60 or 50 or 60,000 altogether?
I think it's a total of I think it's 20,000, 2,000 of those being new recruits, but also like they probably make up the defenses of Astapor.
Mm-hmm.
And he might also be downplaying how many they have, to like get her to sell high or buy high, excuse me.
Yeah, I would agree with that because we find out later on that they definitely have more than he's letting on.
Yeah.
8. Once I own an army of slaves, what will I be?
Do you think these slaves will have better lives serving Krasnus and men like him serving you?
Well, look at the cute little girl.
You want to mutilate them to make a point. You want to order them to murder babies. You'll see they're properly fed, sheltered. A great injustice has been done to them. Closing your eyes will not undo it.
So, little bit of context here. I would say that if a little girl follows you this closely, maybe don't.
I'd be holding my money pouch personally.
Yeah, just don't. So she rolls the ball to her, and I'm also doing this to skip ahead a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't know what the hell that thing is.
I'm pretty sure they're called manacores because I remember doing like some research into like Westeros, and I'm like, all right, manacores. These have got to be something that like were in the Vale and hunted to it. No, they're just bugs. The man-faced monster from Persia is just a bug.
The wild-looking fucking bug, man.
Gregory like 6 of these just going to get his lunch. The last we ever see of the Warlocks.
Mm-hmm.
Written out because they didn't want to offend the soccer moms.
Really?
I don't know for certain, but like I don't know. I do know they dropped a lot of the mystical elements to keep the normie audience who just were there for the blood, tits, and dragons.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, because think about it, like why else? Like I mean, apparently the books have an explanation of they get grabbed by Euron, who is scary who's actually a threat in the books and not just gay-looking, edgy Jack Sparrow.
Mm-hmm.
Gay-looking. Tell me I'm wrong.
No, you're not wrong. It's just funny though. Wow. Well, I think that's a waste of story, but well, okay. Soccer moms ruin everything,
including also football jocks,
including this country.
That's mostly suburban soccer moms and urban soccer moms. The rural soccer moms are fine.
Oh, did I not switch it back? I thought I switched it back. Okay.
I owe you my life, sir.
The honor is mine. Agreed. I know him as one of the greatest fighters the Seven Kingdoms has ever seen, and as the Lord Commander of Robert Baratheon's Kingsguard. King Robert is dead. I've been searching for you, Daenerys Stormborn, to ask your forgiveness. You were sworn to protect your family. I failed. I'm Barristan Selmy, Kingsguard to your father. Allow me to join your Queen's Guard, and I will not fail you again.
It would have been fun to be able to finish out with that because that was kind of a crazy twist of fate. Look, you were actually pretty damn close. We're about 20 minutes. So go ahead, dude.
One thing I will say is it's kind of disappointing that, I mean, she lost one Blood Rider to another cull, but it's kind of sad that, like, you don't see her two Blood Riders, or, like, they kind of show up in Season 8, I think that's them, and then they die horrifically against the Whites, and, like, it's kind of depressing that, you know, she got built up because of the Dothraki, and she just drops them. Like, or rather, the story drops them, like, because they're not relevant anymore. It's really, you forget she has the Dothraki until, like, the next time she gets a Khalasar. It's disappointing.
Yeah, it is kind of disappointing too. There's a lot of stuff they kind of like just shoved to the side because I think they're kind of like, well, what are you gonna do with that? And it's like it doesn't really fit in here. And it was probably also some budgetary stuff because obviously we know this show was pretty expensive.
Oh, absolutely.
So everybody's information is in the description. Everybody's information is in the chat. Links included multiple times. Shadow, thanks for coming on. You didn't have to do that. And you know, once I play the outro, feel free to bounce. I know you got other stuff going on. And we will do this again next Monday, hopefully with no power outages. So thank you everybody for watching. Yeah, hopefully we'll cross our fingers. See you guys.